I'm gonna go live here and just kind of just do my thing and answer questions as kind of they come up. So what I'm doing is I'm editing my lineups for the afternoon slate, and um, I will go over my takes and stuff like that for whoever's here. And because I did just push an update, I'm just gonna redo my Fanduel slates, and I guess I'll show you how I'm doing that. I'm using I guess SaberSim, because you see like my initial builds have like all these guys out, so I'm going to just rebuild those with the new projections. So let me just show you how I'm doing that. I'm gonna fire up SaberSim. Then what I'll do is, I'll relook at like the bigger buy and stuff and just do kind of a sanity check and see if I need to make any adjustments. And then we'll get a cup. Maybe we'll get some horse racing sweat in. I don't know. Maybe we'll look at a little of the LOL stuff that's going on. Let's have a little fun with this holiday holiday live session. So I got to make sure to get the right website in. So we're going to upload the FanDuel projections to here. So we're going to upload using the downloadable sheet. Again, I keep it a little differently, but it's the same thing. So you won't have this exact thing. So I just uploaded the FanDuel projections. I'm going to upload them to SaberSim and then just take a look and make sure they all took. Yeah, it looks like they all took. Replace them with the ownerships, and we are going to build. Well, how many lineups do I have here? I think I have 22 lineups total. Yeah, so there's 20 lineups, and 2 of them are in the bigger one. So let's build 20 using that. And these look like good sliders to use. And we're just going to build these, and let's see what's going on. Hey, what's up, Jason? Yeah. So this weekend was kind of fun for me. I mean, typical weekend for me, apparently, in DFS. I just killed it in every sport except baseball. couldn't get a single guy to get a hit in baseball. Couldn't get a single pitcher to get the ball over the plate. But freaking damn if I can't freaking hit the nuts in freaking tennis and NASCAR and LOL, like all freaking weekend. I did all right in golf too. Just anything that's not baseball, I was killing it. So I don't know why you guys are listening to me here with baseball. But yeah, so for whatever reason, in FanDuel, I know exactly what the reason is. I am getting an unhealthy amount, well, it's only 15%, of Justin Steele. You know anything about him, Rhodey? Justin Steele? I'm probably getting there because I have him at literally less than 1% ownership. So if I put him something in as less than 1% ownership, I'm just going to get to him in GPPs. I'm just going to. So I'm going to keep this as just on principle on FanDuel. Now, with respect to stacks, what do I got? Bunch of KC and the Yankees. Those are the 2 big ones, and that totally makes a lot of sense to me. So we are going to, well, you want to do it the tricky way? Yeah, we'll do it the tricky way. What we'll do is we'll use the late swap thing. No, actually, that's not. We'll just download it like this. We'll replace it manually because I don't think I want Justin Steele in my big one for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't think. Yeah, but they're rated in my top 2 lineups. Justin Steele. That would be pretty gross if I got away with it, right? Or I could just play Sonny Gray with KC and Cincy like everybody else. Or I could play Sonny Gray with the Yankees in Pittsburgh. Or I could play Brandon Woodruff with the Woodruff with the Mets and the Royals. That's certainly the responsible thing to do. But let's not do the responsible thing first. Let's just put these. So these are the lineups. Let me download where was it? FanDuel entries. Let's see. Hang on. Where was that? Upcoming FanDuel. Okay, hold on. So we're going to download this template, put it up here. This is the template as it is now, and then what we'll do is we will first we'll replace the small ones with these 20, and that I'm content with. And then we just got the Monster and the Grand Slam. And for now, you know what? Screw everybody. I'm going to put Justin Steele in both of these, just for now. This will force me to. I mean, actually, this isn't going to be the Justin Steele lineup, I don't think. So we're going to have to talk about Justin Steele in a minute. Hang on. And I went to my other monitor. Otherwise, I would. Boom. Edit it 22 entries, and there it is. So let's take a look and see what I got going on in Fanduel. And then I'll see if I'm freaking crazy with this Justin Steele character. So it looks as though in my biggest ones, I'm still getting to the Justin Steele. I mean, he certainly got all kinds of leverage, right, against Cincinnati, who I presume people are going to play. So I right now have 36 on FanDuel, 36% Gray, only 5% Woodruff. Why would I want to play Woodruff when I could play Justin Steele? That's what I always say. Then I got some Scooble, some Corbin, Scooble, Sonny Gray. So let's see. You know what? You want to do a little research? You want to see what Justin Steele has done? Because I'm getting none of him on DraftKings. And it seems as though that's where I would want to get him, right? What's Steele's price on DraftKings? He's 6K. Let me see. Well, how has he done recently? Like you were saying. Now we're gonna just totally just game log watch. He's got an 18 at Minnesota. Got bombed at home against Colorado. Last time he faced Cincinnati, he lasted 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks, 10 fantasy points. Not great, but not like it's not going to lose. It's not going to lose it for you right away, right? Yeah, this is not good. He was wild. He threw only 48 of 86 for strikes. Maybe that's not exactly the type of play I want in my FanDuel big one. What do you think about that? So I'm going to switch out my Justin Steele lineups for what I'll have as kind of my top-rated non-Justin Steele lineups. I'll tell you who's very concerning to me, by the way. Rhodey, what do you think? What do you think of the fact that Wheeler might be just kind of, not that great, and kind of like facing that dead arm in the fall type thing? Am I just a fish for like thinking that way? We'll get back to it. Yeah, on DraftKings, Rhodey, I am getting just almost all Gray. I'm basically have Gray locked in, and I have Woodruff a decent amount. I have almost no Wheeler. And I got Gray with Woodruff, Gray with some Sale, but not much. It's really Gray and Woodruff as the main deal for me. And the guy I'm not and Scooble. So most of them are Gray Scooble and Gray Woodruff. Those are my two. And to answer one of the questions, somebody came into the Discord and said, how do you attack a slate when you run your numbers and you see that on the one hand you have Scooble rated as a top pitcher, yet on the other hand you have Pittsburgh rated as a top value, and that's the way it works in baseball a lot of the time, and both things can be right. Pittsburgh can be a good value, and yet Scooble can be a good pitching value also. And so what you do, look, the easiest thing to say is that, make multiple lineups. You could do one with Pittsburgh and you could do one with Scooble, right? But the other thing to think about is what type of lineups are going to be lineups where you would end up playing somebody like Scooble. Probably lineups where you want to pay up for hitting, right? Um, as opposed to the types of lineups you want to play with Pittsburgh aren't even the types that you'd want Scooble in anyway, right? Like if you were going to use Pittsburgh as a stack, you'd probably be using those in lineups where you're playing, say, Wheeler and Woodruff, for example, together. So both things make sense depending on the rest of the build. So I forget who it was that asked me that, but that was but that's the answer to that question. There's another thing I have to look at here. I'm sorry. So you're catching me on, this is it wasn't as bad as yesterday. I mean, DGen Saturday DGen Saturday was particularly interesting because I was at the wineries and sweating there's all kinds of crap going on between. So you love Wheeler. I'm gonna look at that in a minute. This. Hold on. I want to get something else up that I don't. Oh, okay. So it looked as though FNCRBIHG after all that. Okay. So I got this is what I got going on, just so you know what's happening. So I have the LOL slate going on up over here. I have horse racing going on up over here. We have 3 minutes to post till Monmouth. So we have pick sixes, pick fives going over there. And then we have, like I said, we have not to mention the baseball, the DraftKings, and the Fanduel. So let's get both those up again, and then we'll take some questions, and I'll just continue doing what I was doing. And that is basically looking at my Fanduel big lineups. But let me get your browser up with your questions, and then I will see there. So I love Wheeler today. Philly needs to win. Longest leash. I know Council will pull Woodruff if he gets any in trouble in the fifth or later. Up by 10.5. That's pretty sharp. That's and those are things that that projections are just not going to grab. And it's not. And I'm telling you, like people that make projection models, it's not that they don't believe that this other stuff exists, but there's just no way to quantify it, right? Like, how do you actually put quantify the fact that that Philly needs to win? I mean, I guess what you could do is you could give a little bump to projected innings, right, or projected pitching. So I guess that's possible. But then what you have to do is you have to make a qualitative assessment where projection models, just by their nature, don't make qualitative assessments, which is why they're flawed, sort of, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? If something exists that is not being factored in, then the model is flawed. But the problem is that there's no way to quantify it, so there's no way to put it in the model. So you just have to accept the fact that part of the model is flawed and make your kind of adjustments for that. That's when we talk about stuff like revenge in basketball, or I don't know, I would say birthday narratives and stuff like that. Some of it, that plays on human weakness and human strength and human frailty and things like that. Some people that make projection models say, well, I'm not factoring that in because I can't quantify it. But just because you can't quantify it doesn't mean it has no effect, right? It just means that you can't actually state what kind of effect it is, so you just leave it off. So I think that it's probably better if you believe something like that, like K9, what you're saying, is that you can either give like a 20% bump in projections to, say, Wheeler, or even give him a point, or if you want, you could just cram him in. In other words, you could just, if you're getting, say, 10% of him, and I don't know how many lineups you play, K9, but if you get 10% of him, just double him to 20. I remember, well, what's his name? What Bobby used to do? He used to actually just always double the ownership of any teams he had playing against the Timberwolves, because he just felt as though that their ability to defend was overestimated. And regardless of what the projection said, he had a basketball take that could not be quantified in some way. So he just decided to double his ownership. And that is, while that's not, mathematically accurate, I think it's mathematically superior than just, doing the ostrich effect, just burying your head in the sand and just pretending it doesn't exist. just because you can't say exactly what the impact of it is. So yeah, like K9, perfect. Tanking in the NBA, you know, um, you have guys that normally you would project for 38 minutes, but you just happen to know that they need to lose to win, get the draft pick, whatever it is. Then you could artificially reduce those minutes or something like that. So you're a five lineup person. Okay, great. Um, so here's a question: like, do you play? And I always like to ask. So Kanon, do you play three max? And if you play three max, do you play three of your five lineups in three max, or do you play five lineups, play three max, and only put one of your lineups in three max, one in single entry, one in GPP, or whatever it is? I guess I have another question: is um, do you create lineups specifically for the tournament or cash, whatever it is that you're playing? And I say this kind of rhetorically because it's something that everybody should think about, and it is definitely one of my, I don't want to say leaks. It's more of a laziness. But every once in a while, I'll do it. Like every once in a while, I will completely recreate lineups depending on what tournament I'm in. To the point where if it's like a $5 multi-entry tournament, I'll play it one way. If it's a $20, I'll play it a different way. Or if it's you know what I mean. So, and you really are supposed to play that way. Um, Not that many people actually do, but it's certainly optimal to do that. And I talked about this with Bobby a lot, and I talked about this with Rhodey, and even Rhodey says that even like the best players, what they'll do in football or whatever is they'll take their cash lineup and just throw it in everything. And mathematically, that is 100% throwing money in the trash can. I think part of it is is um, is regret. If that lineup happens to have been the nuts, you don't want the big $100,000 that you could have had by playing it in there to just go by the wayside. So it's definitely suboptimal to do a lot of things that even the best players do. Five max, $12 entry. Oh, so you play five max and the $12 entry, and you have three lineups with Wheeler and two. Yeah, I mean that makes Oh, that's Fanduel. Okay, you have three with Wheeler and two with Gray. That certainly makes a lot of sense to me. And especially, you know what, on FanDuel, Wheeler, because of what you said, because of that leash, I mean, you get a lot more, not a lot more, but that becomes a big deal because you really want to get that whatchamacallit, that bonus. Okay, so now if you missed out, by the way, on on here's a site, by the way, that I found. So if you like watching an LOL site, game that you forgot to watch, and you wanted to see how the guys did, this is actually kind of a site that I found. That actually this won't give you how the guys did. This gives you how the teams did. Oh wow! So this was a very low scoring game. So Fnatic won 14-10. So basically, what that means is that BIG is really in the driver's seat because they won 21-7 in theirs. Okay. Somebody one kind of higher dial stuff. Yeah. Like you said, it is very rare for that to happen. I also I piled one. I played one in the qualifier today, Rody, but the cheap one, like the $49 one. So I got to beat like. Gonna be seven gabillion people in that. Dude, oh my God. So I got to share this with you. So I had a really, really good freaking score in tennis yesterday. And the reason why I was a really good scorer is because like there were very, very few matches to choose from. And the chances that the winner would have a dupe of like less than like 20 was like almost zero. But I played like 20 lineups and I was going into the very, very last match, which was it kept on getting delayed because every match was late. It didn't start till 11 o'clock at night. Okay. And at the time it started, I had both participants, right? And I was not in first. Like Big T was tied with a whole bunch of people in first place. And there were two different variations where I could have gotten in first, right? If one of the girls won, I would have gotten in first and tied with like 35, 40 people. If another girl won, and she had to win by more, like she had to have a really good score, then I would split it with only 2 people, right? And what I needed was this one girl, Krichev or whatever her name is, she had to win, and not only she had to win, I thought she had to win in straight sets, right? So first set she won like 6-3, and the second set she was up 4-0, and it was all over, man. And I was so pumped it was going to be over. Even the announcers were like, "Oh, the other one's given up." Slowly but surely, other girl broke 4-1. Then the other girl held serve 4-2. Then the other girl broke again 4-3. Then went to 4-4. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Then the other girl went to 5-4, and this is a disaster. If it went even to a third set and my girl won, it wouldn't be good enough for that other lineup to win. So there, then best case scenario is the other girl. I would have to root for the other girl, and then that would have to split it like 60 people. So anyway, so I'm down now 5-4 with this girl, and she fights off 4 set points somehow. Okay, and it went to 5-5. Then it went down 6-5. Now we went down 6-5, and it was going to be our serve. And then on the changeover, she took a medical break. She basically couldn't breathe out of her diaphragm. And so she actually left the court, okay, at 6-5 for like 15 minutes until the medical break. And all I'm doing is thinking, oh my God, she's going to totally default and drop out. And that's going to be the end of it, okay? Then I was calculating what happens if she drops out. If she drops out, does the other girl get enough points where I even win that part of it? So after like a 15-minute break, this girl comes back. She comes back on the court, and she literally can't walk, all right? She's holding her stomach. She can barely walk. She's taking the max amount of time between points, and she goes win, and she wins her serve, okay, in 4 straight points somehow. And they go to a tiebreaker. And every point during the tiebreaker, she's taking the maximum amount of time because she literally can't breathe. And I just know that even if she didn't win this set, all right, not only do I lose, the big one or the big chop, but she's going to default. There's no way she's going to come out on the court. And she somehow gutted it out and won the tiebreaker, getting me the straight set win and getting me the $6,600 cash as opposed to the $300 cash. And then, like, the other girl, was barely shook her hand and was like criticizing her. You're unprofessional for doing what? Meanwhile, this girl almost like died on the court for my freaking GPP. She couldn't even do the interview. She was so dead. So that was a pretty cool tennis sweat. I think it's better than freaking the baseball sweats for me recently. I've had nothing going on. So let's see if we can't change that today. Maybe. If I want to get out of the Fanduel slump, maybe I shouldn't play Justin Steele in the big buy-in. Maybe that should be the lesson to be learned from this. We missed the. We missed the whatchamacallit. So we missed the first leg of the pick 5 at Monmouth. We needed a 3, 4, or 6. And let's see who won. I could just show you the replay. Let's see. All right, so the 3-1. Okay, 3-1. Ooh, and it beat 2 of the guys we didn't have. So we were live in the pick 5 over at Monmouth. Pick 6 is not for a while. We'll play Parks maybe in a little bit. All right, so it's been like a half an hour. I may as well just kind of like again review who. It's going to be 2 things. Like number 1, I'm going to go over who rates the best, and then I'm going to go over who I'm actually playing. And eventually, I will tell you that that this is going to be premium eventually. The Discord. I'm just saying. So, but right now, I can't refer to my sheets a little bit. So I think this is the interesting thing. So I have Gray, Skubal, and Woodruff as kind of very, very close for my top pitcher. And I actually, as a, Canine Bronco, sorry to say, on DraftKings, I do have a Wheeler a little bit lower as far as projections go. So for me, if I were on DraftKings, and if I were just hand building, right, I'll just show you. So this is literally, people say, how do you really want to use this sheets? So what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm rating this way. I see that Gray, Skubal, and Woodruff are kind of close. I see, oh, they're all going to be highly owned. You're not going to get a big ownership discount one way or another. And then what I'll see is nobody's particularly close to them that has really, really low ownership. Oh, with the exception of the Justin Steele again. So for me, depending on how many lineups you play, I would probably lean towards doing something like either Gray Skubal, Gray Woodruff, or Skubal Woodruff, and not to get too crazy with respect to the pitching. But all that is going to depend on how the stacks play out. So, for example, let me pull up the way my stacks look and show you how I then work from there. So as far as the stacks go, if I rank, let's rank them in different ways. So first, let's rank them by value score, by Sheets value score, by modified stack, whatever. I have Kansas City as rated the highest, but you'll notice that they're really, really highly owned. Okay, now this is DraftKings. And then I look and I see that these next two are sort of close, like, and that's where Pittsburgh comes in, right? So Pittsburgh as a value rates to be just, almost as good as Kansas City, but with like half the ownership. So maybe what I would do is play a Pittsburgh stack with the combination of the Wheeler and not Wheeler, Woodruff and Gray, right? Because you're getting the good value and you're getting a reduced ownership. Now, what I like to do then is kind of go down a little bit as far as my rankings go. So I have Baltimore, who's ranked third, and they're actually looks like they're going to be pretty owned. And then I go down to the Mets, and they look like they're going to be really owned too. So I think that if I was just using these sheets and I'm going to just single entry, honestly, probably I would double pay for pitching, use the Pirates. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. The other way is, let's say I want to rank them by raw stack. Now you're looking at like the meat and potatoes, right? You're looking at Toronto, the Yankees, and then you'll see that Kansas City and Baltimore are showing up in both value and raw points, which is, that's what makes Kansas City and Baltimore particularly strong plays. They'll show up in both raw points and value score rankings. So what I'm looking at now is Toronto Yankees, and the way I interpret this is Toronto rates to score be a little bit better, but as a significant ownership, premium over the Yankees. So if I were going to pay up for hitting, I would probably play the Yankees as my stack, right? So this is what I would do. Let me go back into the DraftKings app. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it, but let me pull up a lineup thing, upcoming lineups. All right, so let's clear this for a second. So let's say what I would do is let's do the pay up for pitching for pay up for hitting first. So if we're going to be pure, let's take the guys that we actually liked from the Yankees according to the stack tool. And that would be, and again, we're doing it by raw. So Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Rizzo, and LeMahieu. All right, so let's see if we can get all those guys in. Let's go Judge, Stanton, Gallo, LeMahieu, and Rizzo. Okay. Now, I promise you that we're not going to be able to pay up for pitching. So let's do the cheapest ones possible. Let's do Gray. And then let's see if we could do Skubal. Let's see if we need to go down to what's his face, to the other one. Yeah, I think the Baltimore lineup's out. Wasn't it? Oh, not yet? I guess not yet. Should be at 105, right? So if I played all these guys, I couldn't even really play Gray and Skubal. I mean, I could, but then what I'd have to do is then really pay down over here, which is okay, maybe. To that point, Jason, maybe you'll end up getting to play Severino at catcher. But let's see. So then what I would do if I was just like literally hand building, right? I'd say I want to get the hitting from the Yankees, totally pay up for hitting. I have the two cheapest of the pitchers that I had my eye on. And let's see if I can get enough value out of these. Let's say if enough value plays out of these three positions, which I doubt I will, because you don't usually get good value at third, short, and catcher. Although maybe those Pirate guys are going to fit the bill as far as this goes. So let me go back into back into, oh wait, 1 second. There's one thing I forgot to do. DK stacks. So I'm looking at an old, I don't think I was. Hold on a minute. No, it wasn't old. Okay. So let me just see. Second base. Well, third base, I can play Jace Peterson, for example. What position do I need to fill in? Third, short, and catcher. Short's always the hardest. But you could play Mateo if he's in, right? You got to see if he's in. So if you can get Mateo in, you could get pretty. You could play another Baltimore guy. Like if you could play Kevin Newman at shortstop. Second base, you could play Mateo, for example. Or you could play Tucker at shortstop. So there are guys you could play here. It's a little ugly. What does catcher look like? Well, obviously we can't afford Salvador Perez. See what the best catcher I have is. That's cheap. Stallings at 3,100. Okay, so if you want, but then you're playing Scooble, so you can't play Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is out. So Baltimore, so catcher, you can play McCann. So there's really no good cheap catchers. So it'd be McCann. That would be the option. If you played McCann, then you'd have to go. Let's say you played McCann. And that's a McCann one-off. I mean, certainly has some power. He's hitting eighth, so it's a little bit brutal, right? And then you could play either Newman or Tucker. And it's ugly out there, right? So then what you might want to do, as gross as this is what if you really want to play something like the Yankees, maybe go down to the aforementioned Steele. Now, if you played Steele, now you're getting somewhere. Okay? Now you could do almost whatever you want. Now I could actually look for actually good plays. So let's do that. For the hell of it. Let's see if we just want the best plays at that position. Let's rate it this way. Third base would be actually Jace Peterson. Who did I say I like the catcher? I like McCann, right? I mean, obviously we can't afford Salvador Perez. Let's go start a catcher again. Catcher. Stallings. So you can play Stallings, right? Because you're not playing Scooble. And you get extra leverage, right? Because you're not playing Scooble. And you could also go back and play, if you want to have some fun, you can get double leverage on Scooble by playing Hayes. And then, just for fun, is there anybody good at shortstop? Oh, there's plenty of guys good at shortstop. Nobody that great at that price range. Like you'd want Newman or Torres. So what you could do, yeah, it's not that it's hard, but you could play Goodrum. That's kind of gross to play Goodrum. You could play Newman. Does Newman have any power at all? Let's take a look at Newman's box score. Has he ever hit a home run? He's hitting second. All right, he's got 4 home runs. Oh my God, he does nothing. Brian Hayes, Stallings. Play Galvis against Woodruff. Yeah, but these guys are all against Woodruff. These are all against all good pitchers. This guy's against Steele. It's rough. Now, again, you don't have to stack the Yankees against Hyun Jun Ryu. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. I don't think I'm going to. this is the. I think that's the end result here is that I'm just not going to play the Yankees, and I'm probably not going to play Toronto. But let's just see if there's any difference. Let's say you wanted to go raw with Toronto against Talion, who I do think, by the way, yeah, I'm not quite getting to Sale, if you want to know the truth. But let me just see what the Toronto stack would look like if the normal guys, right? All right, so let's take a look. So instead of that, let's put in let's pay for all this. No, Guerrero's kind of cheap, down to 5,600. Very interesting. All these guys are kind of cheap. Shortstop, Bichette, right? Teoscar. These are certainly cheaper than the Yankees in probably, I think, a better matchup. Let's just see if I can't get away with putting Scooble in again. No, I still can't do it. 2,600. Let's go back to what's his face again. Let's go back to Steele. Let's see if we can do that. Steele. So again, we're not playing Scooble, so we could play Stallings, which is good leverage off of Scooble. Same story. Third base, we could go back to, now we could do a little bit different. But you want to stay pretty? You want to go back to Caprian Hayes? Sure. And then you could almost play Reynolds. Can't quite do it, but you'd have to think there's a good 3K one-off kind of somewhere. Somewhere in the mix. Well, Dickerson's kind of cheap. Maybe you should play him instead of one of those expensive guys. Like, let's say you play Dickerson instead of Hernandez. I mean, now you can get up to, for example, you play Josh Bell. It's not the worst play in the world. You know? So you could do this. You could totally jam into these Toronto guys. Has Josh Bell hit home runs recently? You get 24 home runs, and that's something. So you can do this if this is the way you want to play with Justin Steele. Yeah, you know what? We'll put it in that way. All right. Okay. Let's see some questions before we do some horse racing. Baltimore lineup out. Let's take a look. I think the Baltimore lineup's supposed to be out. No. Let me just take a look. It's just not in the. Hang on. It's just not in the DraftKings app. Should be out though, right? I'm going to Discord, or I'm going to Discord. See what's up. No, I want. Let me just see something. Yeah, where's Orioles? Let's see. Orioles COVID issue? Somebody saying? Huh? Arias is scratched. Arias is scratched. Hang on. Orioles COVID issue seems weird. No Baltimore lineup seems odds. I'm going to keep looking. Between all my different Discords, I should be able to find it, right? Orioles. Where's this Orioles lineup? Nobody seems to have an Orioles lineup. It's very, very interesting, right? Why is there no Orioles lineup? Let's see what's going on in the Masters here. So FNCR is laying on Z10 here, which certainly makes a lot of sense. 13-6. I don't have any Z10. Chan definitely confirmed that take for me. And we are 5 minutes away from the next race in Monmouth. And this Orioles thing is certainly an issue. Okay, so you like Toronto and Boston on Fanduel. That's what you're saying? Yeah, I don't blame you, Nesbitt. I'd love to have at least some confirmation of some lineup, right? I got other stuff, by the way, than you do, Rhodey, on FanDuel, and I guess that's cool. One of us is going to win, right? I just got other stuff. I got Tampa. I got KC. I got the Mets. And I got one with Montcastle, so I would like to know if Baltimore is playing. I think that's not asking too much. Got to use Steele. Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's go. Sounds good to me. Woodruff. Dude, Salvador Perez, man, that guy just freaking hits it, man. Oh my God, does he just hit that ball? To see something. Okay, so it looks like Benchik. Oh my God, this is Benchik center. Okay, so Benchik won the first set over Swiatek. Okay, so now she's saying all lineups. Okay, I have a lineup. Okay. Lineup is here. Here's Baltimore lineup is this. Sounds good. So that's the Baltimore lineup. Yeah, Bobby and I are working on, by the way, like some kind of, I don't know what we're gonna do for the NFL thing. Like Bobby wants to do a video Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. I don't know like how much we want to overdo the NFL, just because, I mean, there's only so much you could talk about, but we'll see what we do. I'm going to do once a week. I'm going to do Survivor Pool stuff. That's for sure. And I think I'd like to focus. I want to do the showdowns on Thursday. I'm kind of into that. I had some really good luck with showdowns in most sports within the last 6 months or so, and I want to do those every Thursday. We'll see. I do think, by the way, that the industry-wide approach of showdowns is kind of weak. the idea of just creating this narrative and then, how you think the game's going to go and then have, construct your lineups accordingly. I do think that is a bunch of crap, sort of. I don't want to say crap, but it's I don't want to get too into it, but I feel as though it's something that people look to after the fact to justify their lineups. Like they would say, "See, if you believe this lineup made a lot of sense because you had this, and it's not as big of a deal as content providers will have you believe. Like I think that people try to like fill up an hour of freaking video content for showdowns just to justify putting another hour of video out there. And they spend an hour on talking about how the different game script, how you have to put a game script together in your head, and you got to. I don't know. I feel as though it's. I don't know. I'm not as big of a believer that that's what's required. Let's put it that way. I think that there's some construction things that you can do that are much more important than quote unquote figure out how the game is going to go. Okay. I feel as though leaving money on the table is very important. Just to create uniqueness, because that's really, really a big deal. And I do think that, that there's some kind of like cool little things of construction that make sense, like putting cheapos in the captain, right? On some slates where it'll allow you to get like 5 guys in the utility that are all strong, almost like punting captain in the name of getting these other 5 guys in, or something like that. Yeah, we'll get into that, and it'll be the usual collision between analytics and narrative and stuff like that. But I think it'll be a fun football season. I have my one. I have my drafts. I'm in one. I don't know if you guys have. Ooh, I forgot them on the. Okay, I forgot what happened here. I think I lost. It serves me right for not being around. Yeah, I did lose. Dang, Bronx beauty suck. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying at all. But yeah, so football's going to be a good year. I don't know if I'm going to play Yahoo this year though. And it's funny to say because that's where I had some of my biggest scores. I don't know if there's going to be enough. I don't say enough action, but I probably will. I mean, I did so well there, and nobody plays there still, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I think. Oh, that's what I was saying. My one draft. My one draft, my season-long draft. I think it's like a $50 buy-in. I'm like the deadest money there is in these things, but I got my sheets here. I have my draft picks. I have it's one PPR league, and so I got that tonight. And I have the 6th pick, so I'm not going to get. Obviously, I'm not going to get McCaffrey. I presume McCaffrey will go 1. Kamara will go 2. Probably, I would guess, Dalvin Cook. Oh, maybe Cook could go 2. I'm not sure. But I'm hoping that I have the 6th pick. I have Derrick Henry 4th. I doubt he'll drop. Then I have Zeke, then Jones, and Adams before. Like Kelsey is projected to go like 7th or something, but I have him as 10th, so I'm not going to get him. I'll tell you if Zeke even falls to me, I'm going to be very, very nervous about picking him. Like I think I'd much prefer one of these Denver guys. I mean Denver, one of these Green Bay guys, whether it be Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams. You like Zeke? Damn, he looked so washed last year. You sure? Man. All right. If he falls to me at 6, you would take him? So I think he might. I mean, I'm 6th. I just have this weird feeling he drops. He does look better this year. So what happened to Pollard? Did they trade him? Because he was the nuts. When Zeke was out or whatever, Pollard was awesome. Did they get rid of him? I hope so. I hope for his sake they got rid of him. Oh, really? That's too bad. He's good, I think. Then I got Eckler. Eckler pisses me off, but Jonathan Taylor. Really? All right, Jason. All right, so if he falls to me, I'm going to take him. I think this is what's going to happen. I think McCaffrey will go 1. I think McKamara or Cook will go 2, 3, whatever. Derrick Henry, they just have to pick him 4. I think that someone's going to take 5th. I think someone's going to take Devontae Adams 5th or Aaron Jones. I think someone's going to go with one of those Green Bay guys and let Zeke drop to 6. So that's going to be my first decision. So if that happens, between Zeke and say Devontae Adams, I'll go with you, Rhodey. I'll root with you. So in other words, if he drops, that's what I'll do. I'll make sure that I take Zeke. And if Zeke goes, then between Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, I just kind of have to take Devontae Adams. I just have to do it. I mean, the guy's he's the whole freaking receiving core. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like Aaron Jones, I mean, at some point, he's been in timeshares. You know, Devontae Adams, I would take him over Aaron Jones any day of the week. And then if I'm 6th, what is that, 8, 10 person league? On the way back, you really think Saquon Barkley's going to drop to 11? I mean, that's what he's projected at. I mean, I would take him over Kelsey. No? Well, maybe. Mixon? I don't know about that. All right, so what's your Rhodey, give me 2 guys. You can give me some advice. Give me 2 guys, like 2 sleepers that are just you think are just gonna like go like guys you think I could wait on that are really, really good. Like, don't give me a guy that's like, ooh, he should be a 4th round pick. He should be a 6th round pick, but I think he's worth the 4th round. I'm not going to pick him in the 4th round. That doesn't make any sense, right? If he's 4th round, if he should be in the 4th round, he's going to drop to 6th. I'd rather him drop to 6, right? Pringle. Okay. Did he stay on Kansas City? You think he'll get some run with Hardman and interesting. All right, that's definitely worth a shot. Okay, so what's his name? So it looks like I presume that Fnatic beat their ass. Let's just take a look. So Fnatic, it looks like they beat Zero Tenacity. What score? 28-9. Okay, so Fnatic has put up a couple of scores here. So what I like to do to kind of sweat this is I put Fnatic. They had a 28. They were 28-9. This is how I can tell who I think is going to be the optimal. And this is kind of a cool set. It's 28-9, and then against the Luminar, they were 14-10. So I'm just keeping a total whatever. Luminar is 10-14. So they've been 3 games. Is that it? Oh, and BIG had their game, right? So BIG against Tenacity. BIG 121-7. And then they beat who? They beat Z10. Z10 just getting smoked. 721 and 928. Okay. All right. All right. Let's take a look. Any more baseball here going on here? Let me just do a last minute check to make sure. Oh, man, I don't need to go. I'm not going anywhere. Let me just see here. So next your Masters one coming up is going to be okay. Illuminar versus Big. This not for another 33 minutes. Okay, we don't have to worry about that for a while. Let's get rid of this. Fanduel, Baltimore guys, looks good. Mountcastle is in. Did I say is Hayes in? Hayes is in. Okay, that's all good. Okay. That looks strong. Yankees. Got a lot of Yankees over there. Like Hyun Young Roo, I mean, he's good, right? I don't know what my issue is here. This has got to be a better idea. No, I can't do that one. Woodruff against a couple of Torontos. So this is probably a good chalk one, right? I don't want to say chalk. This is like, this has Sonny Gray. It's got 4 Mets. It's got 3 Reds, and it's got a Santander one-off. Maybe this is probably just the best play. Yeah, I'm going to do that one instead. I'll put that as my big one instead of the steal. Or I can just use this as a hedge against the steal because it's got all these Reds. Yeah, so let's so Gray. We got time? Oh, plenty of time. Kidding? Scooble, Steele. I don't know what to do. The Steele thing is just getting the best of me. Well, unfortunately, it's been. Oh, so this isn't a full Yankees. It's just a couple of them. This has got some Torontos. It's got some KCs. Yeah, we are going to stick with this. I like them apples. Well, there's one other thing I might want to change here. I have this one-off, not this one-off, this Ursula play at 2,400. And this is the problem, not the problem. This is one of the issues with SaberSim is it's going to give me Ursula because he supposedly correlates with Judge. But how much does Ursula correlate with Judge? He's the 9 hole and Judge is the 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another 2,500 guy on Fanduel that I could put in here. That's what I'm going to do. So let's see who's a good $2,500 one-off. Well, there's Lane Thomas. That's Cabrian Hayes. Or Taylor, who we have already. I presume we have him. All right, so here's the deal. If we don't have four Royals and we don't have Taylor, he goes in for sure. There's no way that I don't have him. If not, it's going to be Cabrian Hayes. Do we have Taylor? We do not. Do we have 4 KCs? We do not. So there you have it. Michael Taylor. Kaboom. And that's the way you do it, folks. And that's the way you win all of the cheese. You play Justin Steele, whoever the hell that is. And then you play some Kansas Cities. You play a couple of Torontos. Is that what you have? We got 4-4? Is that what we have after all that? Nope, we got a one-off with Judge. Oh, we got to like that. Hey, sounds good to me, Rody. You wanted Mets Cubs? Woo-wee! That's strong. Cubs is a very strong idea to get like anti-gray leverage. I like it. Now, we like Judge, you're saying, not Judge. Is there anybody better at 4,400 than Judge? Let's take a look. Just we want raw points even. Well, it's going to be the same thing. So anybody better than Judge at 4,400? Let's just look at pure fantasy points. Soto. I have Soto a little bit better than Judge, but I have Judge lower owned. And I have Vlad already. Who do we want, Judge or Soto? Soto or Judge? Judge or Soto for a one-off? This is it. This is the last decision to be made. And I have 2 minutes to make it. Judge or Soto? Well, I am going to go. Anybody have an opinion? Let's see. Soto. This is what we're going to do. We're going to let the. That's what we're going to do. We're going to let the variance gods determine this. We're going to pull up. Judge or Soto? Judge or Soto? It's got to be Soto, right? It just has to be. You know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. So you have 35 seconds. We're going to count it. Ready? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. I'm going to click this in 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. I'm going to click this in 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If it hit, it hit. If not, then we missed it. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know. Let's see. No, it hit. We got Soto. There it is. There you have it. That is the ultimate in randomness. Now, here's a question. I mean, honestly, how many home runs is Aaron Judge going to hit? Is it going to be 3 or is it going to be 4? That is the real and only remaining question on this slate. 2, you think? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's just take a look at one more thing. Let's see what's going on. So we have nothing. We have no. So again, pretty much all I got. One of these days, I thought about you guys sweating horses with me, but it's going to be so boring for you guys, honestly. But we'll do it during Breeders' Cup Day. That'll definitely be fun. And that's all I got going on today, man. I'm not going to be around, by the way, for the late slate at all. I'm not going to put projections up or whatever. It is actually, for those of you who don't know, it's actually the Jewish New Year, which starts at sundown. Not that I'm particularly religious, but I'm going to dinner at my in-laws, so I'm not going to be around. And 3-game slate, I just really have no interest. I'm probably not going to put anything up on that. I might, but if so, I'll I probably will. I'll probably just put projections up there, but I'm not going to play it. And that's it. Hope somebody takes something down. Maybe is it? They all start. These games start pretty soon. So maybe I'll have some results by the time I have to leave here. No, it's not. I'm leaving here. Actually, I'm leaving here earlier than that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything with it tonight. All right. Well, anyway, good luck, everybody. And yeah, I will see you guys